Hello, my name is Rydo, and today we're starting a series on the game The Cat Lady. Now, The Cat Lady, to date, will be the most mature game I've ever covered. It is a point and click horror adventure. At the beginning, it's strong scenes of blood and violence, some small nudity, and very, very dark and mature themes. So if you are a kid, don't watch this. If you are even an adult with a weak constitution, don't watch this. Think along the lines of something like the Hellraiser movie series, and you'll be about right there. Maybe even this game is a little bit further than this. On top of that, The Cat Lady is like one of the first games by a company named Screen 7, and you can kind of feel it in the setup because there's a separate setup that you can launch that has some very weird settings. So technically, the screen here is 640 by 480, just a really low resolution setting. But then I turned up the anti-aliasing times 8x, and then it changed the resolution, at least in engine, to 6400 by 4800, and then it, I think, is scaling right back down to 640 by 480. So that will be better quality looking sprites. Also in the engine there was like a maximum amount of 20 megabytes per sprite in the game, and I turned that up all the way to 100 megabytes, which is still a ridiculously low amount of memory. I have 32 gigabytes, so I could certainly use a lot more memory for a game like this. So this game probably would run on even the weakest of laptops really well. In-game settings, the only thing you have is subtitles, which are on by default, gamma, which you can turn up and turn down. It's going to be black and white mostly in the game. It's black, white, and red for blood for most of the game to give a very cinematic look to it and spooky feel. The language can change. I'm not sure English was the original language, but it really doesn't matter. This is going to be a pretty short series, so we're going to do about 30-minute recordings, and I think that's all we really need to know. But I really do need to stress this is going to give you nightmares. This is going to terrify you. This is for the people who really appreciate scary things. This is not kid-friendly at all. My second most mature game would have been The Witcher 3, and it's only the second most mature video game because there was a few scenes that I cut out in my coverage of just women being topless, and that's the second most mature. Video games don't usually go into deep mental anguish and fear and paranoia like this game does. It's just something video games don't do. In fact, movies don't even really do it too much. So be warned. You have been warned. Let's start now.
My name is Susan Ashworth. I live alone in this old two-bedroom flat. I rarely go outside. Some would say it's a lonely life, and I guess that's true, but I don't like people's company. Not lately, anyway. I only trust my cats these days, and I will miss them dearly, but they will understand, like they always have. Teacup stays with me till the end. He watches me, as if he knew. Because earlier tonight, I swallowed a whole bunch of pills. They're legal, of course, prescribed by my doctor for my sleeping problems. But I've taken 34 of them, all I could find in the cupboard. And now the room around me spins in a blurry tango as my heart slows down. Any second now, I will be dead. I feel calm. I'm ready for it. I've only got one thing to say now. Thanks for nothing. Goodbye.
Chapter 1. House in the Woods. So I'm gonna mostly stay silent when they talk, and there's gonna be a lot of dialogue in this game, so I'm not gonna make too much commentary. Usually I'm talking non-stop, but I don't want to talk over the characters. So. Oh, interesting. I had noticed that the mouse wasn't working. There is no mouse controls in this game. Interesting. Boy, does this game feel like a one-person project. So it's full keyboarded. So I can walk left and I can walk right, and I'm in a field of wheat. So I guess I can't technically call this a point-and-click adventure game. Oops. That's kind of a shame because this is my point-and-click adventure game time slot, but it's missing the point part. Not a big deal. Press up to open the interaction menu, cycle through the options with up and down, press enter to confirm. Interesting. Enter, examine. Feeling strange drawn to this place, I must find a way to unlock the padlock and get inside. It's locked. Now everything's changed. We're in like a completely different place. Like a car wreck. A car wreck with a car that was painted with red flames. And something, was that MFT 37? Wonder what that is. She sounds British, so I may not know all the Britishisms over there. I know a lot of them though. I'll probably figure it out. Now I assume I'm gonna get a prompt on everything I can interact with. Otherwise, I would have to hit up quite a lot. I can already tell the audio is gonna be super spooky. We don't really... Oops. Jump scare. More reason for me to make less commentary. I'll ruin all the jump scares if I'm constantly talking. Press up to interact, and I can't run any further. Right. I can't go any further. The ambulance is blocking access to the tunnel exit. Maybe there's no exit at all. Let's see what's inside. It's locked.
Huh? What's making that noise? Hello? Who's there? Answer me!
It's kind of a shame that it's not fully voiced as a game. It's mostly voiced. Alright, so a body was banging and now it's come out. It's me. It's my cold dead body right in front of my eyes. See, that would be way better if it was voiced by the voice actor and not me. What is it doing here? So, I hope I don't get these prompts the whole time. Examine. It looks so calm. Turn head. Open eyes. My eyes, just about the one thing I liked about myself. Even now, they still shine a little. Open mouth. And there's a key in the mouth. Is that a key in my mouth? In her mouth? In my mouth? I better take it with me. Press down to open the inventory. Press down to open the inventory. Enter, examine. Not long ago, even a key wouldn't open my mouth. Now, I find there was one inside it. And well, there's no going back that way. I suppose it's fair to say that a lot of this game is a good collection of spooky vignettes. Although there is a story that goes throughout all of it. Ooh, a deer. The music changes completely. It's not dark, it's not spooky. And yet, when we go in here, it is dark and spooky. There's this planks and this machine. The hole has been boarded up with these planks. The sign underneath says it's emergency switch, power switch, danger. Alright, and what does this machine do? Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. Would it take another sacrifice to turn it back? Maybe I'm being silly, this is just some old machinery after all. Sounds like a heart beating. Since I have no reason to mess with the machinery yet, we don't really have a goal. We're kind of just wandering. We don't even know if we're alive. I would assume we aren't. Let's follow the deer. That seems like a more logical move. More upbeat music. Car on fire, car crash. Is it me again? My dead body hanging from a tree. Apparently there's a lot of dead versions of me sitting around here. I should be scared, but I just feel empty. Wait, what's that shiny thing on her neck? Is that a key? Body's too high. The rope is tied into a knot? Well then untie. It'd take me hours to undo this knot. So you're not willing to try it, alright? Let's check this door. The door seems bolted from the other side.
I can't remember this place. Am I lost?
Things are changing. The path changed. Look at this, it's a gate with 3 animal heads on it. What a gruesome display. At least it's not my head stuck onto the bars. Open. It's locked. So again, we have to wander back and forth. Nothing good about that feeling of getting lost in the woods. Things have changed again. Are we chasing the bird now? I guess we are. Alright. As long as the bird leads us, we'll go to the bird. And we're now in a new gruesome display. Interesting foreground. Who's done this? Why, the Mutsuma hunter. Is there anyone else here? Pull out the knife. Well, I have a knife now, so I could potentially go cut myself down. Ah, and I unbolt the door, and that puts me right here. Let's see. Down, examine. It's a hunter's knife. Use. The body fell quite far down. Straight down. Look closer. Examine. I look like I'm just sleeping. Search pockets. Empty. Take the key. Leave. So now we need to go, I believe, all the way to the right to the gate. Let's see if we can unlock it. Examine the key. It's a large rusty key. Might as well examine and do everything because this game isn't super short. Well, it is kind of short. That's what I meant to say. Here we go, through the gate.
Welcome to my house, Susan Ashworth. I have been waiting for you, my dear. I knew you would turn up one fine day like this.
Who are you?
I have so many names, it's hard to pick one. But I'm curious, who do you think I am?
So I get dialogue choices now. And I guess I want to play as Susan Ashworth, which I guess death, an old lady in the woods, has been my solution. God, devil. I think Susan, though, would say, I really don't know, can't you just tell me? But then I think that would also end it. But I really do think that's what she would say, because she doesn't, she's depressed, she committed suicide, she doesn't care. She's not going to spend the energy to guess.
I really don't know. Can't you just tell me?
That's very much like you, Susan. You won't even try. You have given up on everything lately, haven't you?
Why shouldn't I? Is there a great reward for trying? I didn't think so.
Would you have tried if I had told you there was?
Maybe. I don't know.
Something that could change your life forever.
No! There isn't! There never is.
And yet, some people do great things to find it.
I'm afraid I'm not one of them.
I'll move forward and say, I bet she'd say what will happen next. I bet she doesn't even care about the place.
What will happen next?
Depends on you, Susan. Inside my house, there are dark hallways that lead to places you don't want to see. But there is also something that will make you want to return to where you came from and cherish every single little breath you take. I'm going to make you an offer, Susan. It's a chance only a fool would refuse.
Okay. An offer? What can you offer me?
Let's come inside. It's getting cold out here.
Interesting that the afterlife potentially would get cold. But whatever.
A lonely seashore.
Please don't touch anything, dear.
I wasn't going to.
You lied to the whole world, Susan. And you lied to yourself.
This strange lady. I guess I have to talk to her. Is she really here? Maybe this is all just a dream after all.
Now we can talk properly, my dear.
I think this is the right response.
Will I be punished for taking my own life?
Most people would be, but not you, Susan. You see, I watched you long enough to understand how you feel. I don't expect you to believe me, but I actually have sympathy for you. Who knows, I could be your only friend. The only friend in the whole wide world. So like I said, I'm going to make you an offer. I want to help you. I will give you back your happiness in exchange for a simple task. Your life will change completely. You will be yourself again. And you will soon forget the sadness that has consumed your heart for years.
Usually in an adventure game like this, although you would want to exhaust all the dialogue, but I just don't feel like Susan would do that. I think she's going to be a little bit more downtrodden, at least right now. So, like, I could do these things, but let's just answer this.
What do you want me to do?
Yes, I think it's time to explain. But where are my manners? We're still in the hall. This is not a place for a serious talk. Follow me to the next room. I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Feels very odd. Can't have a conversation outside. Can't have a conversation in the hallway. I feel like I'm being led into a trap.
What's your offer then? What can you fix that life has destroyed?
Susan, death can fix nothing. But though we are both dead, I am not death. I might seem just like a strange old woman to you, but I'm just as powerful as gods. And I chose you, Susan Ashworth. I'll need you to go back and face 5 people. They're not ordinary people. They're very special. Just like you, only in a slightly different way.
Interesting. So we have the setup here.
I'm a failure. Why did you choose me? Aren't you afraid I will let you down, whatever it is I have to do? Most days, it's enough of a struggle to crawl out of bed. I don't see the point in anything. I just want to disappear. And I hate everyone else because they know how to be happy. Everywhere I turn, there are people filled with hope and will to live. Or people so pitiful, they make me ashamed to be alive. I don't want them. There's nobody there for me. I am alone. I just want to vanish.
This is the very reason I chose you, Susan Ashworth. I know how you feel, because I felt like this myself for a very long time. You and me are very much alike. If you succeed, you will never feel broken again.
It almost seems like this woman might be me, an older version of me. They look similar enough. Let's go ahead and exhaust everything here.
Those 5 people, who are they?
The parasites, that's what I call them. They don't know each other, but their destinies are bound together. You will have to keep your eyes open and be constantly on guard. Those people will want to get closer to you. They might even pretend they are your friends, but don't let that fool you. They have nothing but cruel intentions. They'll want to hurt you, Susan. They'll want to kill you.
I'm already dead.
As harmless as they might appear, parasites are the evil scum of the earth, and they all deserve to die.
Isn't my life bad enough without them?
Don't be frightened. You will have a great advantage over them. They don't know that you know. Do you understand what it means? You will become my hunter, serving punishment for their sins. A tool of destruction. A dark angel walking through the river of blood. You find your purpose in life and you see for the first time how satisfying it can be.
But how will I recognize them?
There isn't a great deal of people in your lonely life, is there, Susan? You will know when you see them. Bring those deceitful bastards in front of me, and we'll make them regret for everything they've done.
What makes you think I want to go back? I finally did it. I killed myself. That's all I ever wanted. And yet, it turns out to be just another failure. I want this suffering to stop.
Dear, dear Susan, you don't realize that the suffering never stops, do you? It only gets worse. This place is a passage between the world of the living and the world of the dead. You enter one of these corridors and you never come back. But you don't cease to exist. You remain.
Are you expecting me to kill them.
No, Susan, I'm expecting you to fight for survival. To do everything you can to defend yourself. I know you're not a murderer. Quite the opposite, actually. You're a good person. But I also know that you don't want to suffer. And those people will want to cause you pain. They won't hesitate. In the end, you might have no choice. Think of it as gardening. If there were weeds among the flowers, you'd pull them out, wouldn't you? You'd get rid of them without thinking twice about it.
I'm not really a gardening type, but I see your point.
I'm glad. And remember this, you are not the only victim. If you don't stop them, the killing will continue. Innocent people will die. You have the opportunity to make the difference. And a chance to save yourself.
I can't do this. It's too much. Dealing with criminals is a job for the police, not someone like me.
Indeed, you are weak. That's why I have prepared a special gift for you. Immortality. You cannot die, Susan. You will always return to life no matter what happens to you.
What? This is the last thing I wanted. Please, can't you just let me die?
I've made the decision. As long as they are alive, you cannot die.
This all must be just a weird dream. I don't believe you.
Susan, see this door here? Let's go inside. I want to show you something that will help you make up your mind. Follow me.
So, what is going to happen in the next scene? I don't know. But obviously this lady wants me to become her hero, killing these parasites. It's a strange twist of events for a game where you start by swallowing a bunch of sleeping pills. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. Unfortunately, I don't even think if I hit, like, escape right now, it's going to... Well, you do have a save load, so I guess I could save. And then we can type in the name. So I can pause it right there. Good. But that's not much of a pause as far as the audio. Again, this game didn't have any audio options. So many games for PC just assume people can figure out turning the audio up and down. Particularly this game, it needed to address that. Anywho, that's it for this recording. I end all my recordings the same way. I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me even further than that, you can click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab. You can click that and see a playlist for every game I've ever covered. This game only gets scarier, so we've only seen a little bit of horror and a little bit of jump scares and a lot of audio stuff in this first section, but it gets worse and worse, and very mental anguish stuff was also covered, depression. So if you don't think you can handle this, now is the right time to stop, because this is only going to get scarier, spookier. It's not even spooky, it's scary. Finally, down below in the description box, I have links to all my social media links, like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+. Also, you can friend me on Steam and Battle.net. So follow and friend me on all of those services. That helps me out, and it lets you know when my newest videos are available. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.